The Galactic Dominion had never known defeat. For thousands of years, their fleets had swept across star systems, crushing resistance beneath the weight of their colossal warships. When they descended upon the Travak Confederacy, the outcome seemed certain. Within weeks, the skies of Travak Prime burned with fire. Dominion legions marched across its cities, their banners raised over smoking ruins. The Council of the Travak admitted the inevitable. Their civilization was finished. The Dominion warlord, High Marshal Vekarth, stood before his fleet in triumph. Another rebellion crushed, he declared to the gathered admirals. Another species brought to heel. No force exists that can defy us. But then, a whisper ran through the chamber. A single word spoken like a curse. Humans. Vekarth's expression faltered. What did you say? An intelligence officer stepped forward, trembling despite the thick scales that lined his body. My lord, scouts report. The humans have been summoned by the Travak before their surrender. A distress beacon reached them. They are on their way. The chamber fell into a suffocating silence. No species was spoken of with more dread than humanity. The Dominion had avoided direct confrontation with them for centuries, not out of respect, but out of fear. The records were fragmented, scattered across war archives. Stories of battles where entire Dominion fleets vanished. Accounts of colonies that resisted until the bitter end, only to rise stronger, smarter, and deadlier. One admiral whispered the phrase everyone else was too afraid to speak. Deathworlders. Humans had come from a planet so brutal that survival itself was a war. Their predators were faster, stronger, and more vicious than most species could imagine. Yet humanity thrived. Where others adapted, humans conquered. Where others perished, they endured. Marshal Vekarth bared his teeth. They are only one species. We are the Dominion. We command thousands of worlds. The intelligence officer swallowed hard. With respect, my lord, so did the Karos Dominion. Until humans destroyed them, so did the Vale Empire. Until they vanished when humanity retaliated. History records, only extinction follows when humans are provoked. Vekarth snarled, unwilling to let fear take root among his fleet. Enough of your myths. They are flesh and blood. They can die like any other. But the younger officers shifted uneasily. Many had heard the same chilling stories, tales told in hushed tones at war academies. A human fleet never arrived in peace. They did not negotiate after their allies were slaughtered. They did not forgive. They hunted. 3 weeks later, Dominion sensors flared to life at the edge of the system. The humans had arrived. The first ships appeared, sleek, angular silhouettes cutting through the void with predatory precision. They weren't the largest ships the Dominion had ever faced, but there was something terrifying about their silence. No transmissions, no threats, just cold, methodical advance. Vekarth watched from his flagship as the human fleet spread into formation. His admirals shifted nervously, their scales glistening with fierce sweat. Then the humans fired. Not warning shots, not demands for surrender. A single devastating salvo struck the Dominion's forward fleet, tearing through shields and armor as if they were paper. Entire cruisers split apart in seconds, their wreckage drifting into the dark. The Dominion retaliated. Their weapons lit the void in blinding storms of plasma. Yet the humans moved with terrifying precision, weaving through barrages, striking surgically. Every shot they fired crippled another warship. Vekarth's mind raced. This wasn't war. It was extermination. On Travak Prime, the surviving council members watched from hidden bunkers as human warships descended through the clouds. Unlike the Dominion, they did not burn cities for sport. They targeted only enemy forces, dismantling Dominion strongholds one by one. For the first time in months, the Travak dared to hope. High Marshal Vekarth's last transmission was recorded across a dozen Dominion channels. His massive flagship cracked in half, flames devouring its core. His voice was filled with disbelief, rage, and fear. They should not exist, he snarled. They are not soldiers. They are monsters wrapped in human skin. And then silence. The Dominion's victory had been certain. The war had been theirs. But the moment humanity entered the field, it was no longer a war. It was a reckoning.